You won't believe what I'm about to share. I'm not in jail, but I came close. The moment I saw Emily crumpled on our front steps, clutching her arm in pain, a switch flipped inside me, a cold, tactical focus I hadn't felt since my last mission. 25 years as a Navy SEAL taught me to turn fury into calculated precision. The HOA thug who pushed my wife, flanked by his goons, stood there smirking like he'd won a war. He had no idea who he was messing with or what kind of response he'd just unleashed. I wasn't going to break him physically. No, I'd dismantle his entire corrupt empire, piece by piece, legally, the way I was trained to neutralize threats without a trace. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment below if you've ever faced power-hungry HOA bullies or petty tyrants who needed a reality check. Stick around, this gets wild. After decades of service, all I, David Carter, wanted was peace. Emily deserved it too, after enduring my countless deployments, the sleepless nights, and the PTSD that still haunted me at dawn. She was my anchor in war zones, and when I came home, carrying scars no one could see. We chose Willow Grove Estates for its promise of tranquility. Emily loved the backyard for her herbal garden, crafting teas for her hospital patients. I needed the garage for my carpentry, and the nearby lake for quiet fishing. It felt like our sanctuary. The first 6 months were perfect. I taught free self-defense to local kids. Emily thrived as a head nurse. We hosted barbecues, bonded with neighbors Tom and Lisa Hayes, and I felt my constant alertness finally fade. For our 25th anniversary, I built Emily a trellis for her roses, pouring weeks into its design. Her smile was worth every callus. Then, the HOA struck. A stocky man, Ethan Brooks, HOA compliance officer, showed up with a clipboard and a sneer. Mr. Carter, your trellis violates Regulation 27B7B. It's a $500 fine, and you've got 48 hours to tear it down. I stayed calm, offering to file retroactive paperwork, but he snapped. Rules are rules. No exceptions. He slapped a citation in my hand and strutted off. That night, Tom warned us over the fence. Watch out. Margaret Ellis runs this HOA like a dictator. She's driven families out. This wasn't just bureaucracy, it was a shakedown. Emily and I dug into the HOA bylaws, realizing we missed red flags. When I appealed the fine, the HOA retaliated with 5 more violations: mailbox color, lawn height, trash placement, Emily's husband's, and even my kids' classes. Fines hit $2,000. This was war. Emily's eyes burned with resolve. This isn't just about us, David. We fight for everyone they're bullying. I nodded, the calm before a mission settling in. I wanted peace, but it looks like we've got one last op. The HOA board meeting was a kangaroo court. Margaret, 58, with icy blonde hair and a fake smile, sat flanked by Paul Reed, the twitchy treasurer, and 3 silent lackeys. Mr. Carter, she purred, our rules protect property values. I presented evidence of approved structures elsewhere, including her gazebo, and flagged shady financials, bloated landscaping and consulting fees. Paul flinched, Margaret's smile froze. We're not discussing finances, she snapped. But I'd seen it, a crack in their armor. The harassment escalated. Ethan photographed our windows, his hand hovering near a taser. Don't like it? Move, he taunted. Emily, drained from a brutal hospital shift, started dismantling the trellis to avoid more fines. That's when I heard her cry. I sprinted outside to find her on the ground, arm limp, Ethan and 2 cronies looming. She resisted inspection. He sneered. Emily, ever the nurse, whispered. Dislocated shoulder may be worse. My SEAL instincts roared, 3 targets, soft points exposed. But I wasn't that man anymore. I helped Emily up, my voice low. You've made a grave mistake, Ethan. Tom and Lisa arrived, Lisa filming. I told Tom to call the cops. Ethan laughed. Officer Grant's my buddy. This is nothing. When Grant arrived, he dismissed Emily's injury as a trip and left without a report. At the hospital, Emily's arm in a sling, I vowed to end this. Margaret, Paul, Ethan, and Grant saw us as easy prey. They didn't know I was already mapping their downfall. Tom, a retired detective, shared a dossier, complaints, shady financials, and dirt on Margaret's wealth spike after her husband's accidental death. Paul had a hushed-up bank scandal. Ethan, a buried domestic violence charge. Lisa, a journalist, dug into HOA records. I called Alex Turner, a lawyer and former ranger Emily saved after a crash. He joined for free, spotting 6 state law violations in the HOA's actions. They bank on people quitting, Alex said. I smirked. They've never met someone with my training. I documented every HOA violation in Willow Grove, Margaret's gazebo, Paul's shed, proving selective enforcement. I filed 12 record requests, recorded meeting violations, and harassed residents. Our dining room became a war room, a whiteboard tracking their network. Security cameras caught Ethan's creepy inspections. Emily, despite her pain, urged caution. I'm not fighting with fists, I assured her. This is about leverage. At the next HOA meeting, I spoke. I'm addressing the assault on my wife, I announced, cutting off Margaret's agenda. I distributed packets, bylaws, witness statements, and photos of unpunished violations. Paul sputtered. Margaret tried to adjourn. I cited another bylaw, forcing the meeting to continue. Residents perked up, sensing a shift. Online, I launched a forum for anonymous HOA horror stories, fines for a wheelchair ramp, holiday lights, anything different. The community woke up. Margaret tried banning the forum, but Alex's legal memo shut her down. Emily, back at work, treated Ethan after a crash, showing him kindness he didn't deserve. Why? He asked. It's my job, she said. I saw his doubt, a chink in their machine. Lisa's reporting exposed $15,000 to a fake company tied to Margaret's sister, $25,000 to Paul's son, and $50,000 in unlisted expenses. Tom's cop contacts confirmed Grant's golf club perks from Margaret. This wasn't just bullying, it was theft. The HOA doubled down, slapping us with $5,000 in new fines. Paul offered a deal: drop our state complaint, sell our home, and they'd waive the fines. Extortion, I said coolly. The state will love hearing this. Alex got a restraining order against inspections. Lisa gathered 15 resident statements. An anonymous tip revealed offshore accounts. At an emergency HOA meeting, Margaret pushed a $2,000 per household fee to defend standards. I exposed their embezzlement, and the vote failed. Margaret fled the room. That night, Ethan and 2 men tripped our cameras, breaching the restraining order. Grant dismissed it, but a sheriff's deputy, Tom's Marine buddy, filed a conflicting report. We caught Margaret and Paul on a legal recording, plotting to frame us with Grant's help. Alex held it back, focusing on finances. When the HOA threatened a $14,750 lien, Emily paled. They could take our home. I grinned. They're desperate. We've got them. Our counterattack was relentless. Alex demanded a court audit. Lisa's article went viral. Another tip exposed more accounts. Ethan, shaken by Emily's decency, warned us that Grant planned to plant drugs in my truck. We set a trap. Cameras caught Grant planting a package. When he found it, I revealed it was sugar, not drugs, with video proof sent to the DA. Grant was arrested, his career torched. Margaret and Paul's secret meeting violated court orders. Residents protested outside, news crews filming. Our recording of their conspiracy, embezzlement, harassment, and framing sealed their fate. Search warrants uncovered $250,000 in stolen money. Margaret funded luxuries, Paul, gambling. Both were arrested, Margaret in handcuffs as neighbors watched. You targeted a SEAL, the booking officer said. Team 6 Bronze Star. You're lucky he didn't snap your neck. Lisa's story exploded, sparking statewide HOA reforms. At a packed community meeting, I detailed the theft. Residents, once cowed, roared approval. A new board slashed fees by 30%, boosting services. Ethan, on probation, volunteered at a veterans center, reformed by Emily's example. Margaret got 4 years, Paul 3, their assets sold to repay the HOA. Grant lost everything, his case exposing police corruption. 6 months later, Willow Grove was reborn. The trellis bloomed with roses. My classes grew, teaching civic courage. Emily launched health advocacy programs. At a block party, Tom toasted, "You led a revolution, David." I shrugged. "The SEALs taught me, the right strategy beats impossible odds." This community just needed a spark. Emily smiled. They thought they'd break us. Instead, they built us. Willow Grove's sign now reads, "Where neighbors thrive." The HOA office is a community hub. I consult nationwide, teaching residents to fight corruption with evidence and unity. Freedom, I tell them, demands vigilance, whether against tyrants abroad or bullies at home. What do you think? Was our fight worth it? Drop your thoughts below, especially on the HOA's dirty tricks and how far you'd go to protect your home. Share this story if it fired you up. Let's keep the conversation going.